Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel Tokki Plays. I hope you're doing amazing. Today we're doing something a little different in case you could tell by what I'm wearing. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I decided to join a little design contest by these three amazing creators right here over on Instagram. All you had to do is either create a generic fairytale themed build or a build of a specific fairytale, which is the option that I decided to go for. And because I haven't used any of the new castle items yet, I decided it would be a great opportunity to try them out for the first time, and I must say I fell in love with them. At first I started off by building tons of cliffs because I wanted this castle to feel very big and pompous, and I wasn't sure how to pronounce that word, so I checked, and not gonna lie, it sounds kind of funny. When I started building, I roughly knew the dimensions of the castle items. So when building, I sometimes took a quick peek at the front to see how it's going, and then I decided I'll have to do some more terraforming so I could make all items fit the way I wanted them to. I was finally happy with the size of the platform, so I started placing some vines where I knew I wanted to put the castle gate in order to make it look not that empty. I also used the fence to mimic this thing that goes down at castle entranceways. I have no idea how it's called, but maybe you know what I mean. Before building this, I really liked looking at Castlecore islands or like elegant core islands, but never considered that it would be a theme that I could see myself doing. But now I must say those items are really fun to work with, even though it's a pain to build all the cliffs. And I may not be able to pull off doing a whole island with that theme, but I can definitely see myself doing more like tiny builds like this one in the future. Here I'm just starting to work on a second layer in order to give the castle some dimension and not make it that flat. And I knew that up there I wanted to add a tiny hint of color because otherwise it would have been just gray and kind of boring. So I decided to go for the bamboo grass, which then just ended up peeking out a tiny bit at the top, which I found quite cute. I was happy with how everything was looking, so I went back up to build the final platform. Now that all terraforming is done, we can slowly move on to the fun part, decorating. I added this pergola to give it kind of an overgrown vibe and just make it look a little more natural. I really wanted to add vines on this layer too, but unfortunately the castle gate was one tile too close, so there wasn't enough space. It's finally time for pathing, and I found this super gorgeous leaf tile path by coincidence not long ago, and when I was gathering everything that I needed for this build, I immediately knew that I was going to use this path because it just looks so fancy. The color may not work perfectly with the grey castle items, but I really like it regardless. By the way, if you like any of the codes that I use in this build, I'll make sure to put them in the description box. While I'm laying out all the pathing, I actually have a question for you. Which flower in Animal Crossing do you like best? For me, easy peasy answer, it's definitely gotta be the hyacinths. They're so incredibly beautiful and I love them. They're such fancy flowers in my opinion, and I absolutely love the pink variation from them because it's not overpowering and more like a baby pink. I also think that the white cosmos are super pretty and tulips in general, But with pansies and lilies, for some reason, they're just not my cup of tea. I don't know why. Anyway, I haven't even told you yet what fairy tale story we're building. Maybe those shoes that I dropped off right there or the dress I'm wearing were hints enough. I don't know. But we're recreating a scene from Cinderella because it's a fairy tale that when I was little I used to love so much. So the exact scene we're recreating is when Cinderella had to run off the ball in order to make it back home in time. Back there she has her pumpkin carriage waiting for her, and here we have the little bibbidi babbidi boo, one from the fairy that helped her out. With the colors, I mainly wanted to focus on soft pinks and purples and also some touches of yellow, so at the end I added some yellow cosmos here and there. And here we have two black puppy plushies representing horses. I initially wanted to use the springy ride on, but then I realized I only had one of them. But then it came to me that the puppy plushies may actually be a better alternative because they can move constantly. If I had to describe the whole vibe of this build, I would probably say Castlecore meets Fairycore. I did want it to feel a little elegant because Cinderella was trying to run away from a ball, but at the same time I wanted it to feel somewhat whimsical. So I added some fancy items such as the wedding welcome board and some more natural items such as this log stool and the bunny garden decoration, and I think the combination of both matched quite well. Here I'm just adding some more trees to make the area a little more full, and I gotta say I love those little teeny tiny stunted trees, they're so cute. Here's a tiny tip for you. You may notice already, but trees are perfect for hiding things that you don't necessarily want to show up in the final build. What I mean with that is hiding items such as the bubble machine or like the festival confetti machine. They do spice up your build in general, but maybe it's not something that you necessarily want to show up. So for me, I usually like to put those behind a tree and then put a flower next to it to hide them as good as possible. And that usually does the trick for me. And now we have reached my favorite part about decorating exteriors: flowers. I don't know what it is, but to me flowers complete any build outside. They just add that extra little spiciness. As of now, we do have quite a few more steps of decorating to do until we're finished, so for now I'll just leave you to some music and I'll be back in a bit. Back there, it was feeling a little empty to me, so I added a bush and a tree there to make the area feel a little more closed off. Now there's 3 more things that we gotta add to this build. First of all, design codes, because this is feeling a little too nakey right now. Second of all, weeds, even though some of the winter weeds are really not that cute. And last but certainly not least, glowing moss. I love these little bubbles on the floor that when you run through them, sparkles come out of them. Absolutely adorable. By the way, if there's any themes that you would like me to try out, let me know. I'm open for anything and I'm always up for a challenge. For Valentine's Day, I have a little special edition coming up, and other than that, this month I'm planning on making another one of those 3x3 challenges because I had so much fun with them and there's so many more themes that I could try out. So I'm already gathering some ideas and I literally can't wait to film that video. I can't believe that we almost made it to the end of this video again. I hope you had as much fun watching as I had fun creating this. And I hope I could give you some inspiration for your own island. I'll just finish decorating and add the last final touches to this build, and then you can go enjoy a little montage. Thank you so much for watching my little speed build video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are, and see you in the next one. Bye!